closed doors, or even behind iron walls, to feel the need to be set free. You want to liberate your mind, controlling secrets, yet you will find the need to be set free. And the Lord says, captives be free, just come to me. I'll break those chains that hold you down.
Hi, everybody. This is Heroes of Hope. We are so glad that you can join us today. This show has been created for something very, very specific. It's in reference to addressing the drug epidemic here in Staten Island. This show is designed to be able to bring on different organizations, different churches that are running programs that help people in this area, and then also public officials and everyone else that wants to be able to testify and share about what's going on in Staten Island, or maybe them being set free or delivered, or in the process of dealing with an addiction or family issues. But we are here today because we have something very exciting that we want to talk about. And we have with us Pastor Brenda Byrd, and she is with us from Christian Pentecostal Church. And she's got some things that have been going on and that they're working on, I should say, that we're real excited about. So today, we just want to welcome Pastor Brenda Byrd. Hi, we're so glad to have you today. And I know the first thing the people would want to know, besides the fact that you're a pastor and everything, but to know a little more about yourself and things to that effect. You know, what have you been working on recently, and you know.
Okay, well, recently we've been working on Celebrate Renewal and Recovery as a way to fight this drug epidemic. Many of us have come together, churches, organizations, different people, to work together to try to help some of these people that are hurting. Celebrate Renewal and Recovery deals with hurts, habits, and hang-ups. And what we're finding, according to the statistics, most of the time only 1/3 of the people that come to us are dealing with drugs and alcohol, but it's a lot of other issues that leads to that. And so we're trying to come together and hit this thing as a unit, opposed to each one doing something different. And it seems to be working.
How long you been pastoring here in Christian Pentecostal Church?
I've been here 18 years, going on 18 years.
18 years. So it's kind of, I guess it's better if I just ask, why are you so passionate about dealing with this drug epidemic and helping people in this area? I know that you being a pastor, you know, it's just common sense. You love people and you want to help people. But what motivates you? What is it that inspires you to want to do something like this?
Hurting people, and I used to be one of them. I grew up in the inner city, a lot of struggles, a lot of different situations that came into my life as a young girl, and it affected me tremendously. And so I went into drugs and alcohol and these different things, and unfortunately, nope, not a plan, but I became addicted, and I went through that whole pattern of the addiction. So about 24 years ago, I gave my life to Christ, and he changed my life. And this is what Celebrate Recovery and Renewal is. It's a Christ-centered program. And we try to teach people how to put in place building blocks that when life happens, they don't go back to the vices, the drugs, the alcohol, the anger, the anxiety. It's so many things that falls under hurts, habits, and hang-ups. And so we try to address the whole issue with the whole person and their families. Because for one person, you have a whole family behind them, parents, children, siblings. And so we try to work with the unit as a whole.
So what if I was to go to one of these Celebrate Renewal and Recovery. If I was to go to one of them, from walking in the door, what would I experience from the moment I walk in the door? What would the pattern be like?
Well, when you first come in, we try to make you as comfortable as possible. We have greeters that greet. We have different information on the tables to literature to give out to the people. But the idea is to build relationships. You know, before you can really work with someone, you have to build some type of relationship. So when you come in, we introduce ourselves. We have name tags on. We try to make the person comfortable. We have women who cooks meals, and we try to make it more of a family situation with them. And many people come in, they don't have family, or they've ruined their relationships with their family. So we begin to work with them and to help them, and like I said, make them feel comfortable when you come in. We have a curriculum that we study from. The first one I love, denial, coming out of denial into God's grace. And we know with any program, the first step is acknowledging the fact that I have a problem, and then healing can take place. So we deal with that first.
So the setup, people come in and they pretty much sit down, and do they just have different people just come up and start talking about different things, or is there like a set program that you guys run from it? I've been to different programs, and you know, like in a 12-step program, they'll read the preamble and they'll do different things, speak about the step or whatever. In your program, when they go through what you just said, what would be next after that?
Well, we teach on the principles out of Matthew chapter 5.
That's the Beatitudes,
The
right?
Beatitude, let this attitude be in you. And so that's the curriculum that we teach from. We teach the different principles, and we teach how to apply them. And so many times people come in and they have a concept, like you said, of a 12-step program. But with us, we try to teach them the principles and help them to adjust themselves to these different principles because they work. And they mainly work because they're a Christian program.
Are they connected to the 12 steps also? Do they have?
They can be. We have one on Thursday night, as well as the Celebrate Renewal and Recovery on Friday.
Well, what's the difference?
Well, one deals with the steps. Thursday night is the 12 steps, taking people through the steps. On Friday night is taking them through the principles, which is a little different, you know. And again, it helps them to become well-rounded, basically to understand and to look at, okay, this is what I went into, why. So we find that if you get to the root, you kill the fruit, which is the drugs, the anxiety, the anger, and all of these things that comes from addiction or hurts or habits, hang-ups. All of these different areas, you get a chance to begin to deal with them as they really are. And it seems to be working very well.
Sounds pretty powerful. But what I guess what I want to ask is, even though it sounds powerful in reference to what you do and what I'm hearing from you, it sounds like a lot of information is shared with the person that's sitting before you, the group of people that are there, and they're receiving a lot of information, but it doesn't sound like they're doing much talking or much interaction. Is there interaction that takes
yes,
place?
of course. We have a large group where we actually, men and women, we're all together, and we are teaching on that specific principle for that day. Then we break up into share groups, men with men, women with women. Each one have different issues. Another thing we strictly enforce is anonymity and confidentiality, because you have to set the atmosphere where someone can come and be themselves. And so they have to have a safe place. And so we separate, and the men deal with men issues and the women deal with women issues. In those share groups, which we feel is the most important part of the whole program, is that they get a chance to ask questions, and you get a chance to get into things that you could not get into in a large group. So it makes it more personable.
Yeah, I think that's definitely very important, because I know a grown man like myself, I wouldn't want to share certain things in front of a woman.
Exactly.
Or even if I did, it would be just kind of general.
Generic,
And
yeah.
I wouldn't really go deeper in the way that I would need to. And so it's good to hear that that's what's going on. But, you know, hearing that you come out of, you know, a life of addiction and stuff, I could see where you get your passion from. And now that you're, you know, so many years ago and God has literally changed your life and you're pastoring here at CPC and you guys established this group here, do you really think with 500,000 people in Staten Island that one group is actually going to make this huge difference in the numbers that are going on here in Staten Island? You know, like what would be the plan?
It's going to take all of us, the churches, the different organizations. It takes all of us. Each one of us have a piece of this puzzle. So it takes us to come together, like the sign says, tackling substance abuse together. And so working together, we can make a bigger impact on the community. We've also launched one Celebrate Recovery from the group that we have, and we've trained 5 other churches. So our heart is to establish Celebrate Recovery and Renewals all over the island.
So there's 5 other teams
Yes.
that are using churches to establish, celebrate, renewal, and recovery.
Yes. We're also getting calls from Jersey asking us to launch there. They heard about the program. They heard about the success of the program. And so we getting calls asking us to come and help them establish the Celebrate Renewal Recovery there.
So is this a pattern of what your team is going to be working on in reference to? Is the 5 that you train pretty much it, or you're going to keep doing this? Is this something?
No. We're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep doing this. Like I said, our heart is to establish a Celebrate Renewal Recovery all over this island. And we also want to be able to get all the information out, because in speaking to some people, we hear, well, I didn't know this program was here. I didn't know this was available. So the heart is every organization, church, program that are trying to deal with this epidemic, this opioid and heroin epidemic fight. If we come together, we can get more done. And so that's what the heart is. It's not about one program, one church, one
Yeah.
organization. It's about us doing
It's
it together.
pretty exciting.
Yes, it is.
Definitely is pretty exciting. You know, I'm I'm even more excited about the fact that when you think of so many other programs out there that are really making an impact also, and you know, we give them credit in every way.
Sure.
Touching lives is so important, and so when they're thinking about 12 steps, let's say traditional 12 steps, you know, people do believe in their higher power being God. You know, there are people out there that have God as their higher power. But I've noticed in the years that have gone by that there are many people that are working the steps, and even though they have some type of spiritual connection with the higher power being God, they really don't have a relationship with God. They don't really know Him as their Heavenly Father, which He is. And no matter which religion, you know, or should I say Christian faith that we believe in, when it comes to the concept of God or understanding that there is a God, there's a relationship that comes with that,
Exactly.
that can be established. And a lot of times I see a lot of people don't do that. They actually keep it where it's still like a distance. It's just like a spiritual, mystical type
Yeah.
of thing, but it's not a relationship. It sounds like this program literally helps you find out more about God.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
so, you know, like, does it use scripture? Does it use, you know?
Yes, it uses scripture, but again, it's not a churchy type atmosphere. We use the scriptures because we know that the scriptures work. They work. This is why it's important for people to know not only that they have a higher power, but who He is. And like you said, that's where the relationship is built. And you begin to learn that you don't have it all and you don't have to. You come to Him and He will help you through your situations. What I find with other programs, like you said, we're not here to put a darkness on any program. Any program that's working to help people is a good program. However, in there, that's where you see the problem. The problem is that people have a concept of God, but they don't know Him. They don't have that relationship. They don't know how important they are to Him. They don't know how available He is to us. And so in these principles and in these beatitudes, they're not only getting the building blocks to help them to build up again and heal, but they're getting to know who the healer is. Yeah. And that's the blessing within it.
I think by getting to know that, you get to know your identity of what He says, who He says you are. You know, you find out your identity in Him. It's like you're trading in the old identity and you're getting the identity that He says. He sees something different than we see. And then there's also promises.
Yes.
Promises that He has that, you know, if we would abide, we'd see those promises come to pass in our lives. So it's pretty awesome to hear what's going on with this program. Let me ask you this other question. From what I'm hearing throughout, you know, Staten Island is, like you said, there's a unity, so you hear the buzz of different things going on. And I'm hearing through the grapevine something about a center that's in the works in reference to Heroes of Hope and stuff like that. Do you know anything about that?
Yes, and the name of the center is going to be Celebrate Hope. If you can establish hope in a person's life, it gives them the drive to be forward thinking. And so this center is basically a place where people can come in and get referrals, get different information, whatever they need that's going to help them through their recovery or just help them in their life. That's what this center is for. This is why it's called Celebrate Hope.
So it sounds like a center sounds like it's able to spend time with people and even try to get them in programs.
Exactly.
And
yes.
detoxes and stuff like that. That's awesome, man. That is so awesome. What about families? Will there be like maybe counseling or maybe a group for hurting parents and families that are out there that just need somebody to talk to?
Yes, and see, this is why this is so important. We focus on with Celebrate Renewal and Recovery and with this center, is that we're dealing with the whole unit. You know, many times you just see that one person that's struggling, but it's so much more. So many other people that are hiding, that are in shame, family members and parents, they're in shame and they're hurting, and so many different areas. They're like, you have one tree with many branches. And so this Celebrate Hope Center is want to address the different issues, real life issues that people are dealing with, families and friends and children and so on.
I'm so excited that this is getting ready to be established here in Staten Island. And I hear a lot of good things that are coming, and I'm hoping that it all just begins to unfold here on our island because there's so many people that are hurting. I have another question for you. What are your thoughts as we see many organizations and churches and the politicians on Staten Island, NYPD, public schools, you know, what are your thoughts concerning watching them all come together to address this issue here in Staten Island, this drug epidemic?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful because it does take us all. Everybody has something that they can contribute. Each one of these organizations that will help this. If we're going in the same direction and we're working together, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. I haven't even heard of anywhere else where you have all the organizations coming together, secular and spiritual, to deal with and work with the whole person. So I just think it's marvelous. It's great.
That's awesome. I heard there's an organization called TISA. Do you know anything about that?
Yes, TISA basically means Tackling Youth Substance Abuse. And what it is it's like an umbrella with many organizations under it. You have doctors, social workers, all different programs under that one umbrella. And they come together and they talk about and share the statistics of what is going on in the island in reference to drugs and how they can attack it. And at this point, it seems to be work. We didn't really know about TISA until a couple of years ago. And they were very open, and we got a chance to really see what they're actually doing from this room. However, even though they have the statistics and all of this, we need to be out there, and that's where the actual people were. And so, just like I said, we come together. They were doing the statistics in this room. We took it to the streets.
So now taking it to the streets is taking it to the streets in the sense of Heroes of Hope. What did that look like? That as we started it all, what did that look like in reference to? Did you guys do an event? Did you guys do, like what kind of stuff went on?
We did plenty of events. We had a festival at Gateway, which was a wonderful turnout. All different organizations that deal with drugs and hurting people, and it was so many people there. We had a large group. Everybody participated. We also had a march, and we had over 500 people that participated in that. And so people are getting excited because people for the longest have been crying out, what can we do? What can be done? And now that they're seeing that it's an area that we can come together and try to fight this thing together, people are really getting excited. And now people are, before they were kind of skeptical, what is this about? But this year, I believe we're going to triple that because people have heard of Heroes of Hope and they basically know what we're doing.
Yeah. And the reality is that Heroes of Hope is not, it's not designed to do anything but bring everybody together to be able to make a difference. And that is so important to be able to do because, like for instance, I can't deal with mental illness. I can't deal with, a person that needs detox. I can send them to a detox. I can send them to a place where they can get, help mentally, physical help, finances, housing, and all these different things. And but coming together, there's resources now.
Exactly.
And at the drop of a hat, at the blink of an eye, at the literally dialing the phone, we can literally make contacts now where we can get someone right from point A straight into where they need to be and get them off the streets, even the NYPD.
Yes.
So I'm really, really excited about how this is all falling together. Here in Staten Island, we've been addressing this drug epidemic, and being able to have you come on and represent CPC, and then also the CR&R that's taking place here, and then also the 5 that have been launched, and more that are yet to come.
Yes.
That's really exciting, and I greatly appreciate having you to come and give us your time and your thoughts concerning this. But I really want to encourage you to gather your heart and your thoughts right now and take your time and look into the camera. What would you say to mothers, to fathers that are out there that really, really have the heaviness in their heart, and because of what's going on with this drug epidemic? You being a mom, and the life you came out of, and now you've been living, in sobriety for so many years, and you've done such great things. How could you share your heart with them? What is it that you can share that would be compassionate and
Well, what I would like to say to the families and the friends, first of all, there is hope. There's hope. And you don't have to hide anymore. You don't have to live in that type of shame anymore, because this is what these groups are for. This is what these programs are for. We are here to help you. We're here to walk you through. We're here to encourage you. We're here to let you know that your family member, or even yourself, if you're struggling with this, can be healed. You can get on the other side of this. And we're here to help you. We would love to work with you. At the end of the show, you're going to get a number, I believe, and that you can call, and we're available. And, our passion is to see a beautiful change in the lives of people here on the island.
we appreciate you coming on the show today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Love to have you back again. I want to talk to you for a second, to the viewers. Heroes of Hope is something that we desire for you to have resources, for you to have websites, all the information that you need. And so I want to encourage you to always, when you watch the show, to grab a pen and a piece of paper. And the reason why is because every person that we bring on the show, information is going to be available to you on the screen. And then also at the end of the show, you're going to see much more information there available to you. It's very, very important that you write these things down. Now, I might be talking to someone right now that has the specific need for themselves. But then again, maybe you're a family member and you know someone in your family, maybe it's your sister and she's going through things with her kids or something to that effect, and maybe you're okay, you're fine. But you can provide this information. You're able to literally write down what needs to be written down and be able to help them in every area that they need help. So I want to encourage you, tune in with Heroes of Hope, call us, we'd love to help you, everything's free, and hope to see you in the next episode. God bless you.